Look at the jug of laundry detergent sitting on top of your machine right now. Go look at the price sticker if it's still on there. $25, maybe $22 on sale. A blue plastic jug with a measuring cap, and you've been buying one every month or so your whole adult life, without ever once asking what's actually inside it. I'm going to tell you tonight that you can fill a 5-gallon bucket with something that washes your clothes just as clean. And it costs you about $6 and it lasts a year. And the reason you've never heard that is the whole story. Let me put the number in front of you plain. Say you spend $25 on detergent every month. That's $300 a year. Over 40 years of doing laundry, and most of us do laundry a lot longer than 40 years, that's $12,000. $12,000 to wash your own clothes in your own house with your own water and your own electricity. The bucket I'm going to show you costs $6 and does a year. Do that math against the $12,000 and tell me you don't feel a little robbed. I felt robbed when I first ran it. And I'm going to give you the whole recipe, exact what to buy and where and how much. And I'm going to tell you the 2 things it won't do, because anybody who only tells you the good part is selling you something. I'm Earl. My father was Harlan, and he farmed a piece of red dirt outside Macon, Georgia, all the way through the Depression. 29 to 39, the lean years, the ones that taught a man what he actually needed and what he'd only been told he needed. He kept a ledger, an account book, leather gone soft at the corners, where he wrote down every cent that came in and every cent that went out. And in the margins, he wrote how he did things. I have it on the table in front of me. I don't trust a monthly bill. I never have. My father didn't raise me to rent the things a man ought to own outright. And the laundry aisle is renting you clean clothes by the month. They've just made it look like buying. Here's the entry. He dated it March of 1933. The handwriting's tight, the way it gets when a man's counting close. He wrote, soap for wash, 1 bar lye soap grated, washing soda from the store, Borax. Made up a crock of it. Ada says it lifts the field grease better than the cake did. And then under it, money. The whole batch cost him pennies. Against a store box of soap powder that he'd priced and decided he wasn't going to pay for. There's one word underlined in that margin, hard enough that the pencil tore the paper a little. I'll come back to that word, because it's the one thing in this recipe you can get wrong, and Ada underlined it for a reason. Let me tell you why it works, because if you understand this, you'll never be fooled by the jug again. There are only 3 jobs in washing clothes. First, your water is hard. It's full of dissolved minerals, calcium and magnesium, and those minerals grab onto soap and onto dirt and lock them into the fabric. So job 1 is softening that water. Washing soda and borax do exactly that. They're called water softeners, and that's literally their function. They tie up the minerals so they can't interfere. Job 2 is the actual cleaning, lifting grease and oil off the cloth, and that's what soap does. Grated bar soap is soap, the same as it ever was. A surfactant, a thing that lets oil and water mix so the oil rinses away instead of clinging. Job 3 is just getting it all suspended in the water so it rinses out, and the soda handles that too. 3 jobs, 3 cheap ingredients you can buy at any grocery store. That's all your $25 jug is doing. Those same 3 jobs, dressed up with dye and perfume and a marketing budget, so why don't you know this? Why did your mother stop making it? Why didn't they teach it in home economics by the time you came up? Here's the honest answer, and it's got nothing to do with this recipe failing. Powdered and liquid detergent got pushed hard, starting in the late 1940s and through the 1950s. The chemical companies came out of the war with enormous production capacity, and they needed something to sell to every household in America, every month, forever. You cannot do that with a recipe. Think about it. There's no patent on washing soda. There's no model number. There's no brand loyalty in a box of borax that costs $4 and lasts a year. You can't put a recipe on television between the soap operas. They literally named those shows after the detergent ads that ran in them. And you can't build $1 billion company on a thing a woman mixes in a bucket for pennies and never has to buy again. There was no money in the bucket. All the money was in the jug you buy again next month. So the bucket got left out of the schools, left out of the ads, left off the shelf. And within 2 generations, a thing every household in America knew how to do got treated like it was lost. It wasn't lost. It was unprofitable. Those are not the same word, and the people who make the jug have spent 70 years hoping you'd never learn the difference. Now the recipe. Here's exactly what you buy, and I'm going to use the brands you'll actually see so you're not standing in the aisle guessing. You need washing soda. Look for Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda. A yellow box, usually on the bottom shelf of the laundry aisle. About $4 or $5. This is sodium carbonate. And hear me, it is not the same as baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate. Washing soda is the one you want. You need Borax, 20 Mule Team Borax, the box with the wagon on it. Same aisle, $4 or so. You need a bar of plain soap. The old recipe wants a hard, simple bar. A bar of Fels Naphtha, which is a laundry bar made for exactly this and costs about $1.50, or a plain bar of Zote. If you can't find those, a hard plain ivory bar works. And you need a 5-gallon bucket with a lid. You probably got one in the garage already. A hardware store sells them for $3 or $4. Now you make it. Grate 1 bar of soap on a cheese grater, the fine side, until it's a pile of little curls. Put those curls in a pot with about 4 cups of water and warm it on the stove over low heat, stirring, until every bit of the soap melts and you've got a smooth, milky liquid with no lumps. Don't boil it, just melt it. Take your bucket and fill it about halfway with hot tap water. Pour in your melted soap. Then add 1 cup of the washing soda and a half cup of the borax. And stir it until it dissolves completely. That's a minute or 2 of stirring. It does dissolve. Then fill the bucket the rest of the way with water, put the lid on, and leave it overnight. By morning, it'll have set up into a soft gel, kind of like loose egg white. Give it a stir or shake before each use because it separates, and that's normal. You use about a half cup per load, a full cup if the load's filthy. That whole bucket, 5 gallons of gel, runs you about $6 in ingredients and washes a year's worth of laundry for a family. 3 cents a load, give or take, against a quarter or more a load from the jug. Now Ada's underlined word. The thing she tore the paper underlining was about the soda, about not getting careless with it. Washing soda is a strong cleaner and it's alkaline, and the caution my mother was marking is this: wear a pair of rubber gloves when you mix it. And don't go rubbing the dry powder or the concentrated gel straight onto your skin with bare hands, because over time the alkalinity will dry your hands and can irritate them. Gloves while you mix, that's the whole of it. Once it's diluted in a bucket and then diluted again in a full washer of water, it's mild. But the concentrated powder deserves respect, and that's what she was telling whoever made the next batch. Gloves on when you mix. Here's the honest turn because I promised it. This gel will not do 2 things. It will not give you that heavy perfume smell that the jug leaves in your clothes. Your laundry will come out clean and smelling like nothing, like clean cloth. And if you've spent your life equating that perfume with clean, you'll need a week to adjust. That's a habit they sold you, not a result. Second, and this matters, this is a soap-based recipe, and soap can leave a dull film on clothes if your water is very hard. So if you're on hard well water and you notice graying over a few months, add a half cup of plain white vinegar to your rinse, and it clears right up. And the one real safety rule, said plain and said twice, keep this bucket labeled and keep it away from children, because it looks like nothing dangerous and a child should never get into it. Label the bucket, keep it up high, away from the kids. That's the rule. So here's what you've got now that a whole industry has bet money you'd never figure out. You know that detergent is 3 cheap jobs: soften the water, lift the grease, suspend the dirt. And you know the 3 grocery store ingredients that do all 3 for pennies. You know the jug isn't selling you clean. It's selling you a subscription, and you just canceled it for $6. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from, what town, what state. I read them, and it tells me where the old knowledge is still alive. And tell me the last thing you paid a so-called professional to do that your grandmother would have just handled at the kitchen counter. If your family had a laundry trick, a bluing, a line-drying secret, a way with stains, put it down below. Because between all of us in this comment section, we are pulling back together a thing they spent 70 years scattering. That's not a small thing. That's a movement, and you're in it now. If you're new here, subscribe and stand with the rest of us who are done renting what we ought to own. We're not doing this for me. We're We're doing it to take back what was quietly taken. And next time I'm opening the ledger to a page I've been saving. Harlan's full waste not list. The reuse rules that ran that whole farm through the lean years, where nothing left the place until it had done 3 jobs first. A whole compilation of them, the throwaway economy turned on its head. The packaging industry is not going to like that one. It's all in the ledger.